Hello, and welcome to the very first brand new episode of the On The Fritts Podcast. This is something that I have wanted to do for the longest time. I love talking, if you all haven't figured out on my TikToks and other social medias. I love to yap, and I've always dreamed of wanting to do a podcast, and I've never really figured out what I'd want to talk about. But with the On The Fitness growing, On The Fritts Fitness, that's such a mouthful, growing, I feel like, at least for now, a great lens would be talking about the fitness industry, being a new person in the fitness industry, and my own weight loss journey. So, to start us off with, hi, my name is Abby. I live in a small town south of Knoxville, Tennessee. I am currently 341 pounds. I am on a 175 pound weight loss journey. I have lost a little over 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. I was weighing at 360 in January, really up until March. And then March, I kind of started getting back into fitness, getting back into weightlifting and working out. And I've lost 20 pounds. I've lost 20 pounds really since March. I am the one woman show behind both On The Fritts Baking, which I'm sure you've seen my bread lives and my bread videos. And then I'm also the one woman show behind On The Fritts Fitness, which is where I am documenting that said weight loss journey. I have been in the fitness space before. I actually I'm a runner. I've run a half marathon. I've run several half marathons, and I would love to get my endurance back up so I can train for another half marathon. But currently we are lifting weights and we are counting our macros to get to our goal of 185 pounds. I have been struggling with my weight pretty much my entire life. Like for, I would say close to 20 years. I have always been the bigger kid, the chubbier kid. My parents would always say that I would grow out and then I'd grow up and then I'd grow out and then I'd grow up. And it got to a point where I stopped growing up and I just grew out. And that I was still like one of the larger kids in middle and high school. I'm definitely not the size I was now, obviously, in high school. I think actually, ironically enough, when I was in high school, I think I was sitting at about 180, 190, and I was still considered fat in that time frame, and took a lot on me mentally. Looking back at my old high school photos, I'm like, no, I was not fat at all. I was just a teenager. And then I got to college, and that freshman 15 ended up being more like freshman 100. And I've just yo-yoed with my weight my entire life. This time frame or this go around, I'm really wanting to get into like the psychological issues behind my weight. So I've been journaling a lot. I've been kind of forcing myself to revisit some unpleasant traumatic experiences in my past to understand how that connected to me turning to food for comfort. So I'm also in the process of learning how to eat healthier and eat right and fuel my body for what it needs. So that's just a brief about me. This podcast is going to be a variety of things, if you will. Hopefully I'm going to get a boom mic so I can stop holding this because this makes me want to play with it. So this podcast will come out every week. It will come out with check-ins and with where I'm at, how my previous week was with weightlifting. I am currently training for a powerlifting competition. I'm hoping sometime next year is when I will start lifting. And then, I'm not going to lie, bodybuilding sounds super cool. And I actually just watched a bodybuilding competition this last week. So that might be something down the road, way down the road, as a tool. Okay, listen, if you're going to be in the podcast, you got to be good. Where was I? Hi. This is Marley. She is the On The Fritts mascot. If you're going to be there, you got to be good. Anyway, so yeah, this podcast is really going to be just my journey and just my history and me just yapping for however long it takes. I also have a lot of people in my life who have undergone significant weight loss transformations. I know people who are on their own journeys, and so they're on their own journey. They're either in the maintenance stage or they're in whatever stage of their journey. And I want to take this platform and I want to use them, or I want to allow them to share their stories. My whole thing with this On The Fritts Fitness, and the reason why I am being so vulnerable, is that I feel like as people in bigger bodies, especially women, but people in bigger bodies in general, I feel like they get such a bad rap because there kind of really isn't it's kind of like, it's a damned if you do or damned if you don't situation. Being a fat person, you are either a lazy slob who doesn't work out and you only get takeout, or you are taking up too much space in the gym. And that is, I feel like, the common stereotype that is portrayed in social media, just on like in our daily lives and in our own mindset. And for me, I want to show really everyone that that's not true. Like, to be on a fitness journey is your own pace and your own race. And you are allowed to exist in that space. Whether you are running, doing Pilates, weightlifting, you're allowed to take up that space. So that's what I want this podcast to be, is I want it to be this inclusive environment where we do discuss our struggles, where we do discuss our wins, our non-scale victories, our scaled victories, because even those are worth celebrating if that's something you're trying to accomplish. And so I would love to get some people in for an interview. I already have a few lined up for this process. Just about me. So hi again, my name is Abby. Nice to meet you. I am behind both On The Fritts Fitness and On The Fritts Baking. If I figure it out, I will make sure I put all of my tags down below, or it'll be in the description below. The reason why I got into fitness in the first place, quite simply, is because I hated how I looked naked. I know that's so like, oh my gosh, you can't say that. You look great. No, I hated how I looked naked. Like, I hated what I saw in the mirror. And that's the plain and simple of it. Yeah, so I hated how I looked naked, plain and simple. And the only thing that I knew that was going to change that, because I couldn't wave a magic wand, I knew I was going to have to start moving my body. And so in 2021, I had just like this random spurt of energy in January of that year, and I went on my first mile run. And then I realized, oh shoot, I can actually run a mile. And then that compounded into me training for my first half marathon and finish. And then 2022, 2023, I'm not gonna lie, I tapered off with the fitness stuff. And then I in turn gained most, if not all, of my weight back, plus some. And so then in 2024, I had a lot of life changes. And then finally at the beginning of this year, I was like, okay, I need to buckle down and I need to get this weight off of me. And then I just so happened to end up linking up with a personal trainer through something else. And then she started offering these challenges, these 8-week challenges in her Discord server. And I said, hey, that is really easy to follow because she has the workout plan and she knows my macros. Like, I got this. That's easy. And so I actually won her first 8-week challenge back in March and April. And so now I'm in her second 8-week challenge now. I really don't want to win again, if I'm being honest, simply because I want everybody to have a piece of the pie and I want someone else to win. I don't want all the attention to go to me, but I'm still winning because I'm still working towards my goal and I'm getting these accomplishments. So that's briefly why I got into fitness and where I'm at now with my fitness journey. We are going to dive into the week 1 check-in of this warrior challenge that we are in. Week 1, I did not think I was going to see a lot of progress, especially because it is just week 1 and my body's still kind of used to being active, so I didn't think I was going to see a whole lot of progress. But it's actually kind of funny. The number on the scale went up by a bit because of a technical glitch. But then also we got to see quite a bit of movement and change in my body, and I am actually going to get my phone for this just so I can be accurate, so excuse me. So we are going to go to last week's scan. So this was my very first body scan measurement that I had ever done. I am 5'9". I am an Amazon, so I am the shortest of the Amazons, but Amazon nonetheless. My gym has one of those kind of body scans where it scans your whole body and it does all the calculations and it gets your accurate numbers. So that's why I'm reading all this off, because I have it. They said that my weight was 329 pounds. That was not accurate. I will explain later. And my body fat percentage then was 47.1%. I had 154.9 pounds of fat mass. I had 167.1 pounds of lean mass. And my BMR, my basal metabolic rate, was 2,249 calories a day. So that was last week. My chest measure. Okay, so hold on. I can get my measurements. My left bicep was 15.3 inches. My right bicep was 14.4 inches. My left calf was 18.4 inches. My right calf was 19.2. My chest was 57.7 inches. Got some tig old bitties over here. My hip was 60.3 inches. My thigh was 30.9 inches. That was my left thigh, excuse me. My right thigh was 30.6. Got some thunder thighs too. And then my waist was 51.1 inches. So I'm a big girl. I got a lot to lose, which is fine. And so I said that we were going to wait and I was going to explain why I was only 329 pounds. When they did the scan, they didn't tell me that my hair needed to be up. And so I had my hair down and it did not track my head. It didn't catch my head, nor did it weigh my head. So decapitated, I am 329 pounds. But this week today, I am, spoiler alert, still 5'9", and I'm 341 pounds. So apparently from the neck up is 12 pounds, guys. Didn't know that. But my body fat percentage is 44.5%. So I lost quite a bit. My fat mass is 151.7 pounds. My lean mass is 181.9 pounds. So I gained lean muscle mass. Love that. And my basal metabolic rate is 2,300 calories on the dot per day. So I'm increasing my metabolism. My body fat percentage, I think I lost, was 47.1%. So I lost like 3% off of my body fat mass, which is awesome. And then today, my body fat mass is 44.5%. My lean mass is 53.4%. I don't think we measured all that. My left bicep is 15.8 inches. My right bicep is also 15.8 inches. So, hey, they match. My left calf is 18.2. My right calf is 19.0. My chest is 56 inches directly. So I lost about 1.5 inches off of my chest, which again, ladies, just so you're aware, you lose your tiggle bitties first, which honestly I'm okay with. I'm so tired of these double D's. Like, I would like to be like in a C or even a B cup. That would be great. My hip is 59.5, so I lost 0.5 inch off of my hip, which that's where I carry, you can't really see it now, but I carry most of my weight on my lower stomach, which affects my hip measurement. So losing 0.5 inch off my hip, fantastic. My mid thigh is 32.7. I gained inches on my thigh, but again, I'm an Amazon. I got big legs. And then my mid thigh is 31. On my right side is 31.2. And my waist is 50.6. So again, I lost about 1 inch off of my waist, which for a week is pretty damn good. So for me to lose that much in a week, that's pretty impressive. And the diet this week looked, again, pretty proud of it. I was talking with my coach earlier that I did not have any dairy at all last week, which I'll be honest, guys, I freaking love cheese. Cheese doesn't love me, but I love cheese. I'm very much lactose intolerant, but I still just kind of suffer the consequences. But I did not have any cheese or dairy at all last week. Really, the only thing I had was I do like the Lactaid milk or like the Fairlife milk in my protein shakes. So that's really the only dairy. And then Greek yogurt. I do Greek yogurt too. But that's it. That is all I had for last week for like eating wise. And I'm very proud of myself for that. Even for the 4th of July, I didn't go crazy on food. I had a couple of bratwurst, but I just had I didn't have a bun. I just had the meat, and then I had a whole bunch of fruit and stuff. And yeah, that was really what I did for the food this week. We actually dropped my calories for from now on, my coach and I did, and simply because of the fact that I felt like the calories we were at was too high. Like I felt like I was eating too much and my body just could not handle it. Workout wise this last week felt okay. I don't know if it's just my cycle or what, but I felt very much like I had to drop weight a lot, and that was frustrating for me because I love being strong and I love being big, and I love it when guys look at what I'm lifting in the gym and they're like, dang, you lift more than I do. That's one of my favorite things. And so having to drop that weight kind of sucked. But I would much rather listen. There's a difference between listening to your body and being afraid of what your body can do. And I'll get to that in a second, but I would much rather listen to my body and play it safe than overexert myself and injure myself. That we don't want injuries. But being in your head a little bit can also stop you from accomplishing your goals. And so, for example, today I had leg day, and this was my first time ever doing a front barbell squat, which is essentially if you're doing like a barbell squat or like a traditional squat, the barbell is on your back and you kind of squat down with your back. The barbell front squat is the bars up here, and it's pretty much like laying on your chest. I can only do that with one hand. It's like, imagine this and this together. But you are squatting with the barbell in front. And there was, I don't know what it was. I don't know if my knees were feeling weak. Again, like I said, I was a dancer and a softball player for a decade. I got bad knees, and I did not have a knee sleeve. I did not have knee sleeves or a knee brace with me, and both my knees were just not feeling good. So my form wasn't good. I didn't go all the way down like I wanted to, and I had to drop weight like twice in order for me to actually get some movement. Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing my first podcast. This is so crazy. Where was my train of thought? Weekly check-in, the the front barbell really kind of stressed me out and annoyed me. And then the hack squat made me feel a little bit better. I did get bruised on both of my shoulders, which is very common for the hack squat machine. I just like to call them my battle scars. And while I was dying on the hack squat machine in between sets, I actually had a guy come up to me and he was like, "Hey, it's really cool that you are recording this, and I'm assuming you're going to post it online. I just wanted to shout you out. Like, that's awesome. Keep up the good work." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. This is actually why I'm doing all of this," which is what I said earlier, giving people in bigger bodies the confidence or showing people in bigger bodies that you are allowed to take up space in the gym is essentially what I said. And then I gained a new follower. So that was awesome. And then, other than that, the gym pretty much went normal today. I destroyed my legs today. It was not fun. And then so my gym has a pool, and I love swimming. Swimming is one of my favorite exercises ever. I love to be in the water. So being able to do some lap swimming for cardio is fantastic. And then let's see what else. Yeah, this last week was pretty, for being week 1 and it also having a holiday in our week 1, I feel like I did very well, especially looking at the numbers and how much my body has changed in just not even a week. Like, I got that first scan on Thursday, and then I got this current scan the following Monday. So pretty impressive. I am going to do those scans at a weekly situation. And then also with this podcast, it's probably not going to come out every Monday. I think this is going to be just the one-off. I think I'm going to probably do either Tuesdays or Wednesday podcast premieres, just so that way I have enough time to kind of settle and then go over the previous week. Excuse you. And I think I've hit all my points. I think I have yapped and babbled enough. I'm trying to think of some other things. I will be doing some interviews I'm going to do some interviews with some coaches. I know some bodybuilders, so we can definitely try to get some bodybuilders on the podcast. I know just other people in their weight journeys themselves, or in their, not really weight, but in their fitness journeys themselves, that I know I would love for everybody to hear their stories. And yeah, so please feel free to give us a follow at On The Fritts Baking, On The Fritts Fitness. Pretty much On The Fritts is yours truly. So if you see On The Fritts Fitness Baking, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.